Right. So we discuss about the different kinds of electronic spreadsheets that we can use, the softwares, and the earlier we have talked about what are the activities that can be done through the spreadsheet software. So now we are going to discuss about the spreadsheet software, how we are going to use that, right? So here in the in your book, they have given you different kinds of interfaces. This is for the Microsoft Excel 2010. Today we are going to work with the Excel version, which we call 2019. Your book has 2010. We are going to do the practicals via 2019. So nothing much has differed from the 2010 version and 2019 version, other than the tools, the new tools that they have introduced into the ribbons. So like when it comes to tools, right, it goes a similar way. All right. So now Excel reason doesn't matter what is the version that you have in your device. So like you can do all the primary and all the necessary practicals with any versions which is older than 2007. You can go with that, right? So when you start the Excel, this is the interface that you are going to receive, and there are a place for the templates as well. So if you want to go for the templates, you can click on that, then you will be given different kinds of templates. Right, so in those templates, you can recognize that these things are there to like create the chart. So like write in the formulas or do the calculation kind of stuff. So likewise, right, it is not to do any documentation in here, right? So for documentation, it's the word processing software that we use. So in spreadsheet, what we are going to do is we are going to go with the analyzing part as well as the calculation part. And it does not mean that we can't use this spreadsheet software to do the formatting of a word or something, but it is been limited just for the spreadsheet purposes, right? So it more focus on the formulas and the equations and those kind of stuff. Right, so I'm not going to take a template for the moment. I'm going to go with this particular workbook. Right, and this Excel environment, they call this the workbook, right? So why it is being called a workbook, as you can remember, in word processing software, we had the ability of taking a lot of sheets into our document, right? There are like a lot of pages can be taken. But here in the Excel, this working area, which has the square ruled nature, has a greater dimension of having or spreading in a very big area. But again, if in case if you need different kinds of sheets, you can take different kinds of sheets from this icon, right? So this plus icon will generate you a new sheet. So before I come to that, I'll go through the stuff that you can see over here. So the quick access toolbar is there, like we saw it in the word processing software. And font group is there, merge group is there. And likewise, you can have many different kinds of group inside of one particular ribbon, as well as you are going to have many particular ribbons as well. All right, and this formula one is something special for this spreadsheet because we are going to learn something called formula in this spreadsheet, which will help us to do calculation in a much easy manner. All right, so for that reason, they have given us a tab called formula, and it will help us to type many different formulas inside it. And the data review and view, it will be there, like, but majorly we are going to talk about the home, insert, page layout, and formulas. Right, and this data review view things, they are there as the as we saw it in the word processing software, right? And even for the saving, you have a file menu item or ribbon item. You can click on that, then it opens all your workings which is done by the Excel recently, and they are giving you to reinsert them. Right. So let's see what this sheets can be done. So in sheets, right, in this sheet, you can rename the sheet as you want by double clicking it, right? And as well as there are these small components or small squares. Let me increase it for you. Right, so these small squares are called cells. Right, so a one big spreadsheet is having so much of cells, like it is as long as like this. So like each and every column of the spreadsheet is named with a English capital letter, which we call the column headers, and each one of row is maintained with the help of numbers. Right, so when it comes to the content inside a particular cell, it contains both indicates, or like the indicators from the top as well as the indicator from the left of yours, right? So each and every cell, that means each and every cell is having a separate name for them, right? So that name is defined over here in this small book, which you call the name box, right? So wherever you are going to click your mouse, the specific address is given. First the column letter, then the row header, or the what we call the whole number part. Okay, people, give me a second. Right, and if you think about the ribbons, it has some familiar items from the word processing software, like this bold, italic, underlines, and the text types, the sizes, increase and decrease in fonts, and the font color, as well as there's something called the background color, which defines, or the fill color, which defines the color of your particular cell or particular record, or particularly entire Excel sheet. So whenever you can have your shadings as you want. As well as there are alignments into the left, into the center, into the right. Apart from that, they are talking about the horizontal alignment as well. Right, in horizontal alignment, I'm sorry, the vertical alignment, the top alignment, the middle alignment, and the lower alignment that they are searching for. Right, and there are some other tools as well. I will take that idea when we are discussing that particular thing. Right, and as you can see, there is a small box which contains A1. And there's a lengthy bar here, which you call the formula bar. All right, so when we are referring the particular cell on the Excel sheet, we generally use the most appropriate one or the address of that cell. So the one that I have the one that I have selected already has B4 as its address. So you can see the address goes here on the name box. So wherever you are going to click, that name box is going to change. Right, and when it comes to the cell addresses, there are ways that you can select one row of cells or one column of cells or set of cells which are adjacent to each other. Right, so as I told you, the cell that I am clicking will be taken as the active cell, the one that is being selected. And that active cell displays the address over here. It says C2. That means C columns, second row. So where they intersect, then you are going to have the address of the particular cell. Okay, people, is that clear up to this point? Right, okay. Right, so now we are going to move to talk about the cell addresses and cell ranges. Now, what is the cell that I have selected for the moment? Yes, people? So give me the answers according to the cell addresses.
So it's C4?
Yes, that is correct. So Dilendia, Sanushi, Rizon, your answers are correct. It is C4. And what about this?
B6?
Yes. Yes, Sanushi, that's correct. And when we select the sum of the cells which are adjacent to each other, we can't name it just by one particular cell address. We have to say what's the range of the cell addresses that we are using. So there should be a starting point and there should be an ending point, right? So the one that I have chosen here, I have selected three particular cells which are adjacent to each other. Right. So when you are going to address these three cells as a range, first you have to say what is the left, right? What is the address of the left component, the very left component, and to the very right cell address. So that is how we are going to specify the range, the length of it. First, the starting cell address, then the ending cell address, and in between, you need to put a colon, right, to indicate it is from here to here. So for this,
can you show how it is put, sir? Like when we are writing?
Yeah, I'll show it, Rizwan, right? So for this particular range, we can write it like B3 colon D3. Likewise, if I choose it from here to here, the very first, that means like the leftmost thing
B3
belongs to
colon.
the B3, and the rightmost cell belongs to the D3. So the range can be given as B3 colon D3, or you can go it in the other way around as well. All right. If I choose something like this, how about this picture's cell range? Right? Yes, people? That's the range. If you choose it, you can use the same logic. The very top cell is going to take the starting point of the selection, and the very last cell in the selection is taking the last address that you can go. Right? So in that case, this range can be shown as how? B2 colon B6. Are we clear with that, people? It's D2 colon D6. Yes, are we clear with that, people?
Yes.
Right. Okay. If I ask you to name this range, yes, if something like this is given, how we are going to determine? Okay, before that, just tell me what's the range of this particular selection?
E2 colon E6.
That's right. Very good. Others, it is E2 colon E6. Okay. So if I'm going to select something like this, the selection has both columns as well as rows. How we are going to deal with this? Yes, people.
Sir, what is
Going
the
to
question?
name a range. Remember, you have to start the range from the left upper cell,
Sir,
right?
C2 colon D6.
Yes, yes, Rizwan. It's like that. So you have to start it from the left upper corner of the selection. So which is the C2, and end it from the right bottom corner. That means B2. Right. So the answer is going to be C2 colon D6. Right. Are we clear with that, people?
Yes, sir.
Right. So tell me what's this range?
B5 colon D6.
Yes, B5 colon D6. That's correct. And how about this?
C2 colon E5.
C2 colon E5.
5.
Yes, 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 that's correct. That's correct. Right. So that is how we are going to tell what is the range, right, for some particular calculation. So as I told you, most of the things are referred from the cell address. Okay, so let's write about these things a very, very small manner, right? Then we come to the other parts. We talk about the introduce, we talk about the benefits or the usability, we talk about the application software of a spreadsheet. Now we are going to talk about the spreadsheet software. So these things we talk about it. Right, these things actually you know about it. This is what they are showing about LibreOffice Calc, and you're not going to experience that here. Right, then we'll talked about the wheel, how the things are going to happen with the worksheet, right? So like the naming, we took the naming as well. Yes, I couldn't mention about you this particular thing. The Excel sheet has its column headers from A to Z. So after the Z, it's like the vehicle numbers, and it's going to have A, B, AC likewise. Right? And if you want to see the very last cell, you have to press Control and the right arrow key, which will take you to the very last cell in this sheet, which is under the XFD keyword, right? So when you need to come to the home straight away, you can go with Control and Home. If it is not jumping straight away, then you have to go for a different kinds of approach, right? As well as when it comes to the number of rows, here we go. Right, so the number is 1 million. I'm sorry, it's it's 1,048,576. Right, so that much of entries can be applied. And if you want to go to the top, it's Windows up. And when that the particular file is containing these kind of structure, will help you to do the calculations very easily. Right here, it shows you like how much of rows and columns are there. Right. So as you can see, rows goes to a very like 10 million odd numbers, and columns, it's like 16,385. This is earlier one. Right. So these two are the things that you need to remember. Right. And we discuss about the active cell. Yeah, we discuss about the keys as well. Right. Did we? Yes. Right. Let's note down these people. Then after we'll come to the other part. Let's go with like this. I think you have done with this. Okay. No, you don't need to have anything from here. Yeah, let's go with this. As well as you may write the naming.
So sir, those two we have right now.
Yes, you have to write. You have to write it now. You can have this as the examples. People, give me a second. I will take a water and come. You may copy it down from here. Let me know when you are done, people.
Done, sir.
Okay, one is done. How about others? Anyone who is still writing? All right, so moving forward. You know how to name a cell, so you don't need to, and you don't need to write about the numbers. It's going to differ from version to version. And let's write about the active cell. Yeah, copy these two lines.
So you had draw the diagram also, no?
No, Rizwan, you don't need to. You don't need to. Just writing about the active cell is enough. Are we done, people? Anyone who is still writing this?
Done, sir.
Okay. Moving forward. Yes, it's better we write about these key combinations as well. Those things can be there for the MCQs. So scrolling in a worksheet, then you can go with these stuff. Right, there are some shortcut keys that I haven't practiced you, or like show you what is going on. So after this, I'm going to show those things, right? So let's first write it down.
Sir, should we write down the page down one also?
You should reason. People, are we done?
Sir,
Yes, everyone, are we done?
yes.
Okay. Anyone who is still writing?
So I'm still writing.
Okay, okay. Keep it up.
Dancer.
Right. Anyone who is still writing? Okay, moving forward. Yes, before I move forward, here I told you earlier, like, yeah, let me type some contents over here. So like, I can show you the difference. All right, so let's say we have this kind of data in here. So if I place my, if I make my active cell as A1 and I'm pressing the control key and the right arrow key. Let me have something over here as well. So I'm at the A1, control and right arrow key. So it moves to the end of that row, right? And if I got some other data like this, so if I press control and down arrow key, it moves to the bottommost data in that area, in that column, right? From A1. Like if it doesn't matter whether you are in A1, so wherever you are in the A column, pressing control and down arrow key, we'll go to the end of that, like the very last cell which contains a data. Control down. And if you press control right arrow key, it's going to the right end, which has the data, the very last cell which has the data to your right. Same happens with the left and the up. If you press control left arrow key, now you are in the second row, so it's going to stop at 245. And if I place my active cell over here, B3, and press control and up arrow key, I'm going to stop at the B1, right? And if you press control and right arrow key once, and if you press the control and right arrow key next, then it will take you to the very end of the spreadsheet. So it's the XFD, right? So as you can see, like since these things has alphabetical order for the column headers, so once after the Z, it's going to start like AA, AB, AC, like the vehicle numbers are going on. So likewise, the very last cell is the XFD. And the very bottom cell is this I have shown you. So I can take you into that place by pressing control and down arrow key. If the data is there, then you have to press control and down arrow key once. It will take you to the very last cell, which has a data. And if you press control and down arrow key again, then it takes you to the very end of the sheet. Right? So it doesn't matter wherever your active cell is, if you press control and home, it will take you always to the cell A1. Right? Doesn't matter at which cell that you are in. Pressing control and home will take you to the A1. Right? And if you are at a certain point over here, and if you just press the home button, it will take you to the leftmost cell in that particular row. Right? So if I stay over here and press home, it goes to the A2. If I mark it over here and press home, it goes to the A6. Right? So the leftmost cell can be reached by just pressing the home. Right? And page up and page down, it will help for you to scroll page by page. So if I press page down, now here in this page, you can see the rows from 1 to 7. If I press page down, yeah, it's going to be 8 to 14. If I page down again, 15 to 21, likewise. So page up does the same thing. in an inverted manner, or like on the other way around, going forward page by page. As well as I told you, like there are many sheets that we can take regarding the Excel sheet. So if you want to rename this, you can double click and just type any name you want. And you can take another sheet by pressing this plus sign, and you can give any other name as well. Right, so let me have some random detail over here. And I'm adding another sheet. I'm not going to rename it. As well as if you don't want a sheet, you can delete that sheet. So if I don't want the sheet 3, I'm going to delete this. I haven't typed anything on the sheet 3. So when no content is there, if I choose delete, it will delete instantly. No warning messages or no any other confirmation is given if the sheet is do not have any particular data. It's going to delete it instantly and you won't be able to undo it again. But in this grade 11 sheet, there are 3 data over here. So here I'm going to delete that thing. And then I'm going to receive a particular warning message. It says Microsoft Excel will permanently delete this sheet. Do you want to continue? So that informs us if we delete this thing, it is a permanent delete. So we won't be able to take that. So if I say yes still, then it deletes its stuff. Right. So that's how the worksheet creation and deletion happens, as well as how the this particular control key and arrow keys are being worked. Right. So we write about these things and we don't need to go like cell addresses. Right. And we talked about the ranges. Yes, people. Can we try this? You can give me the answer for this. What's the range of R1? Yes, now everyone, it's better you try it. The range of R1.
Sir, B2 column and F2.
Yeah, B2 colon F2.
F2, sir.
Right, very good. And how about the R2?
H1 colon H7.
H1 colon H7. Very good. Very good. Very good. And how about R3?
C5 colon
C5 colon E7.
Yes. C5 colon E7, right? It's starting from the C5, which is this cell, and ending from this cell. So it is E7. Right? Okay, others, you can send the answer through the chat as well, right? Okay, so it's that easy, right? And here we are going to learn about the type of data that we can enter into a Excel sheet, right? So let me explain. And people, my battery is draining very quickly. So in case if it off, I'll try to come with the other laptop. And I really couldn't charge that thing, people. So in case if I couldn't come, so be patient, right? I will come from my phone at least, right? And let's see. I hope and pray it will last until the our session last, right? Let's see. So yeah. So when it comes to the it's an HP one, Rizwan. Since it is a little bit old, now the battery is draining a little bit fast. Okay, so now there are 3 types of data that we can enter into a Excel sheet. The first type is the text type, or the labels. We address it much improved manner, or like much appropriate manner. So text, can be purely text, or it can be something mixed up with the values, right? So if any particular cell is going to hold on, right? If any particular cell is going to have a text, it's going to be left aligned by default, right? So it doesn't matter how many characters that we got, it's always left aligned, right? So it's only the characters and values together, still everything considered as a label. And the other type is like the things that you are going to have as the values, like normal numbers, right? Hold on, this should be formatted in a meaningful way. Let me delete this one. Let me delete this as well. Yeah. So like 1, 2, 3, it is right align. 23.7, right align. In case if I put a date like this, it is taken as a value as well. So right align, right? And if I put a percentage, right align. So these are called values. So text, they are naturally left aligned, and the values, they are naturally right aligned. As well as the formula bar, the one which is here, the big bar. This formula bar is showing you the value which contained by that cell, if it is a text or a label type of one, and even if it is a value or like number type of one, it's going to show you the same data or like the content of the particular cell. And there is something called formulas in Excel, which help us to do the calculations in a very easy manner. So later you will learn all of these formulas need to be started with an equal sign, right? Equal, and we can use mathematical operators, and there are some other things called functions. Using any of those, we can perform a particular formula. So I'll type a very simple formula over here. I'm just typing equals 4 plus 5. And once I press enter, look what happens. Yeah. So I typed here equal 4 plus 5, but now you can see the answer of the formula, which is 9. 4 plus 5 is displayed over here at the top of the formula bar. So that is why this is called the formula bar. So once I click on the formula bar, then the cell shows you what kind of a formula is there. If I press enter, cell is going to show you the answer, and formula bar is going to show you the formula. Right? So 3 types. Okay? Which we call labels, values, and formulas. Right? And there are some other facilities with the Excel cells when we are like trying to work with something called fill handle. So fill handle means this small square that you can see at the right bottom edge of your cell, of your active cell, right? So this is my active cell. So here a small square is there. So that is called fill handle. Now fill handle can be used to copy things in an easy manner, right? So this is the way you are going to copy things. So if you select A1, which contains A, B, C, once I move my cursor to the fill handle, my cursor, the mouse pointer, change into a black cross, right? So on that position, if I click and drag it down, it's going to copy the active cells content to the all other cells, right? I can use this fill handle either in the vertical manner or in the horizontal manner. I can't use it diagonally, right? That means you can copy along the column or along a row. That's all, right? So that is how the fill handle behaves with a label, right? And if your label contains numbers, let's say S001, still it is a label. So if I copy this using the fill handle, see what's going on. See, so it's different. Number has increased one after the other, right? But not the text or like the characters, right? That is something special that you need to remember when it comes to the Excel. When a particular label has numbers and the text, number is going to increase one by one. It doesn't matter from which number it's going to start. If it's S005, then the next cell will be S006. Then next one is S007, likewise. So it's going to increase one by one, right? And text, they are not going to increase, right? And look at the numbers. So like, if there is only one value, which is 9 over here, I take the fill handle and I copy it. So it's only the same value, which is something very same as the text. It's copied in the same way, right? So text are copied in as the same way the active cell does. Values are copied as the same way the active cell does. But when the text and the numbers, the text and numbers are together, text will not change, but the numbers will increase one by one. And there is a way that we can copy the patterns using the fill handle as well. So it's like this. If you take A and C in these two cells, if you copy it, if you select it, how you are going to select these things? This white cross will help you to select things. When the mouse pointer is in white cross, you can just click and drag. So it will select the things. Now you can see both, like two cells are being selected and the fill handle is at the edge of the cell. So in that case, if I take the fill handle and if I copy it downwards, it's going to copy the same content again and again. But when you are using two numbers, I have taken 2 and 4. I have selected those 2 and 4 together. I use the fill handle and I'm going to copy it. So it copies the pattern. So 2 and 4 was selected. So next one is 6, 8, 10, and 12. The pattern continues. So likewise, if you take 3 and 6, you can take the multiplication of 3. Likewise. Right, so that's the way that the pattern works. And as well as there are general patterns where the Excel can identify. If you say sun, I'm sorry, which stands for Sunday, and if you copy it down, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the abbreviations, they have taken that, the short form, right? And if you take Jan for January, so like if we are going to copy it, so Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, likewise, it's going to copy. right? So that is the way the fill handle can be used in Excel. And when it comes to the formula copyings, it's a different scenario that they take. We have a section to talk about it. So we'll talk about it when the time comes regarding the formulas. Regarding the text and values, the labels and values, it's going to be like this. People, is that clear?
Yes.
Right, great.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's write about these things. Entering data, right? So have the subheading and have this, the very first one as the label. So you can write these two lines.
So I write not the telephone numbers, not that, no, sir, but
No, not that, not that. Only the highlighted one. Only the highlighted one.
done, sir.
Okay, anyone who is still writing?
Still writing, sir.
Okay, okay.
Done, sir.
Right, okay. So moving to the values. Yeah, you can write these two things and you have to copy this part as the examples, the integer, decimal, fractional things, right? That as your example. You don't need to write the column headers and row headers, just the type of the values and the examples shows in the figure number 7.11, right?
Sir, only the what the sentence? No need for the diagram.
The diagram you need here, Rizwan, because it has the examples,
So I will write.
right? Yes, so you have to write this as well. And people, my battery is draining. Sometimes it will get off. So you may continue with these things, right? I'll connect from the phone in case if I get a power interruption, right? You may write it. I'll stay here, right?
Excuse me, sir, like, I have a question, sir, not connected to the lesson, sir, like, is
Yes.
it good, sir, like to connect chargers while doing things? Because I have connected. Is it good, sir?
It's better you can disconnect and use, but if it's really hard to use without connecting, like in my case, no worries to have that. But it's better you have disconnected from the power and then use. Then whenever you need to charge it, then only you may connect it and charge.
Okay, sir.
Done, sir.
Right. Anyone who is still writing? Okay, moving forward and write about the formulas as well. In that case, only the highlighted part, right? No need to go with the diagram. Yeah, my PC went to the battery saver mode, people. So like at any time now it's going to shut down. So I will be there in the mobile phone. Right, so no worries, I can continue. Rizwan, other one is a Dell ones, Rizwan. Oh, that's good. That's great. That's great. Okay, are we done? Anyone who is still writing? Right. Moving forward. Yeah, the mathematical operators using formula is here. Now, in case if my laptop shut down, we'll come and write this part. Until it is being shut down, we'll talk about these number formats that they were talking about, the one you have written over here. So there are many different number formats that you need to understand how these things are being used and how these things are being formatted. Right? So now I'll show that to you. So let's see. So to do that, I'm going to take this, this particular one. Yes. So yeah, before I come to the number formats, I have some more little things for you to show, like regarding the alignments in the Excel sheet. Now, as I told you, like these font types, the font sizes, increase font, decrease font, bold, italic, underline, they are there as the word processing software shows you, right? And when it comes to the underline, it's only two patterns are given here. Like if you can remember, like there were like many patterns in the word processing software, as well as the borders are there. And two particular colors are there, one for the color of the text, other for the color of the cells, right? The background color of the cells. So there is no any highlighted color over here, but just the font color and the cell background color, right? And as well as when it comes to the alignments, like in word processing software, we usually find a horizontal alignment, which is to the left, right, and the center, right? So this has the same alignment. This is left, and this is right, and this is the center. As well as there are something called vertical alignment as well, because we can adjust this height of the cell and a row by adjusting the height of a row and the width of the column. How we are going to adjust it? You can just take your mouse pointer in between the margins of a column or of a particular row. Then you can click and move it. So it will help you to make the width adjusted as you want. Same can be done to the rows as well. So going in between the margins, you click and drag. So it will help you to make it, right? So when we make a particular cell bigger, so we can find 3 other positions vertically, which is top, middle, and the bottom. So if I want to align this Apple word to the top, I can use these 3 buttons. This is top alignment. Banana, this is middle alignment. I'll set. And orange, it's at the bottom alignment. So in case if you want to make any particular word at the very center of this cell, so you have to manage both the alignment. From the horizontal alignment, I have to take it to the center. And from the vertical alignment, I have to take it to the middle. So then only you will see a particular value at the middle of your cell, right? So that is regarding the horizontal and vertical alignment. And there is something called text wrapping as well. Like this text wrapping applies with the cells where their content is going to overflow from the cell. Right now I have taken these 2 words, attendant details, right? So if I reduce the size of this cell, you can see this attendance detail has overflown to this cell as well. But the B2, the one that I have selected over here, is the B2. It is the one which contains the value attendance details. Even though it is been overflowed, nothing is went to the C2 cell, right? Because if there is something on the C2, now I have selected the C2, so this formula bar should be illustrated over here, right? So now the attendant details is overflown from the B2. So in that case, I can apply the text wrapping option, which is over here, wrap text. So if I apply the wrap text, the particular word is going to be wrapped inside the cell's width, right? So now if you reduce the size of the width, it's going to be there inside a cell as it is. All right, so when you are expanding the width or increasing the width, it's going to adjust accordingly. But when you are decreasing it, it's getting wrapped. Are we clear with this, people?
Yes, sir.
Right, great. As well as the orientation. Right now, there is something called OT amount, this little word. I can manage this, the orientation of this word. Like now it is in the horizontal orientation. So I can change the orientation in these patterns. I can make it as angle counterclockwise, angle clockwise, vertical text, rotate text up, like it's the actual rotation, and rotate text down likewise. And if you want, you can adjust the cell alignment from this window. Like this particular red dot will help you to manage the angle. So you can keep the angle like this and press OK. So it's going to angle accordingly. So this will be very useful when you are like creating bigger formats in the Excel. Sometimes like your data is going to be very small in size, but your header is going to be big. So if we had it as the horizontal manner, right, like this, let's say the OT amount is come up with just 1 digit like this, right? So it's kind of a waste of the space, and sometimes because of this reason we won't be able to take our printout to a A4 sheet because it consumes a lot of white space inside it. So in that case, I can arrange this OT amount into a different kind of alignment, something like this. So I can make my column width into something like this and save more space from that. Right? So those are the places where we need these kind of facilities. Is that clear, everyone?
Clear, sir.
Right. And as well as, I think I have talked about the merging in the word processing software as well, but here they allow me to do the merging and my employee attendance details are typed in C2 and it has been overflown to the D2 as well as E2. Right, but for the moment D2 got nothing and E2 got nothing. But if I need a particular format where I have 3 columns called employee ID, name and address, like I illustrate over here. And if I need to have this employee attendance detail spreading all over these 3 columns, so I need to merge the things with these other 2 cells, right? So I can use merge and center to do this. So once I press it, this is taken as one big cell. So name, employee EMP name and address are under those as 3 separate columns. But this is one big cell now. And always remember, if you are merging things, only the leftmost value, or like the left upper value, is going to be saved and all other things will be disappeared. Like if I'm going to merge these 3 together, only the employee ID will survive. Name and address will be replaced from the empty spaces. Look what happens once I click this. It's going to give me a warning saying like merging cells only keep the upper left value and discards other values. So that means they are saying that the name and address are going to go. Only employee ID is going to be there. So if I say okay, it takes only employee ID. All right. And if I want the merging to be happen for a cell range, that is possible as well. I can choose a cell range and press merge and center. So it will show me a one big white space. And if I need merging to be done row by row, right? So let's assume in this table, I need this table to be merged, but row by row. So for that, you can use, there is a facility called merge across. Merge across. This merge across will merge things row by row, as it done here. Did you got the point, people? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. And whatever you have been merged, you can unmerged, right? But the problem is now if I unmerge this employee ID merge cells, I may get my other 2 cells, but not the contents, people, right? Earlier, you can remember like this could be done like there were 2 words over here. So when I was merging it, it was gone. When I unmerge it, only the cells will appear, but not the details, right? So likewise, you can go with the merging. All right, we really survived up to the point we want. So by next week, I'm going to talk about these number formats. Then after we are going to discuss the formulas and the important stuff of the Excel. Right, so I'm going to end the session from here just for today, people. So thank you very much. I'll see you on next week for the very same time. All right, then we discuss about the formulas and other things in the Excel. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Have a very nice day.
Have a very nice day, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Right.
sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay, everyone. Thank you.
Have a nice day, sir.
Right, Dua. Thank you.